Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing a get to know me.
Been feeling trapped down on the floor. I don't know what for. Feels like I'm gonna lose.
So for this video I was a little bit unprepared and I didn't end up asking any questions on my Instagram, but I usually do. So if you would like to go follow me on my Instagram, then I usually do post some like ask me some questions or what's your opinion on this or something like that, but I didn't actually end up doing it this time. So I'm going to grab some questions off the internet and just answer a few on this video. So I think the best place to start is who am I? So my name is Deeanna and I'm from the UK. I'm 27 years old and I love making videos on YouTube. I hope to make this my full career, and I also like some crafts and creating little bits and pieces. So the first question that I found on the internet is, what type of music are you into? So that question is kind of a little bit hard to answer. I have a few particular artists that I'm into. So for example, I love Demi Lovato. I have loved her music and just her genre in general since she did all the rock type music, and now she's back into the rock scene. I've loved her music all the way through, and yeah, my dream is to meet her. She has inspired me and has actually helped me through her music in quite a few of my tough times. So she is one of the people that I listen to pretty much on a daily basis. The next ones I love to listen to is Little Mix and Pink. Those two are just, I feel like they've got some really good bangers and I just love listening to them as artists in general. I do also like a few of Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande's songs. Selena Gomez at the moment, I am still kind of getting back into her music, but one of the big ones that I love is Lose You to Love Me, and the one that she has that's really recent is My Mind and Me, and those two I feel are basically the soundtracks to my life at the moment, so I absolutely love listening to those two songs in particular. The next question is, what is the next place that I want to travel to and my bucket list, and when do I plan to do this? So the next place that I want to travel to that is on my bucket list is Dubai. I have seen lots and lots of travel vlogs and I actually really want to do travel vlogs and I really want to go and see Dubai. I've never been. I've always been to places like Spain, the Canary Islands and America. That's pretty much where most of my holidays have been, so I would love to explore some different parts of the world, and Dubai being one of them. So the next question is, what are my hobbies and how did I get into them? So my hobbies at the moment consist of cricket crafts and also diamond painting. I got into diamond painting after seeing it on social media. I used to be a cross stitcher and unfortunately I am no longer into cross stitch. I don't really have the time or the patience in my head at the moment, and I really do struggle to sit down and do things for long periods of time. So with that being said, diamond painting is something that I can progress with quickly. It is similar to cross stitch but also gives me the achievement of having a nice piece of artwork. So that is why I love diamond painting. Cricket crafts I also saw on social media, and I actually bought a cricket machine about a year ago from Amazon, and actually I love using my cricket. I love cutting out the vinyls and all the different bits. Of the range of things that you can make with your cricket is actually amazing. This is not sponsored, but I just absolutely love creating things with my cricket machine. The next question is recommendations on Netflix and Disney Plus. So Netflix, I have a couple of recommendations. So one of the movies that I have actually watched twice now, which is a Netflix original, is called Julie and the Phantoms. I absolutely love the whole storyline, and yeah, I just absolutely love that particular storyline and just the film in general. The next one that I absolutely love from Netflix is called Purple Hearts. Again, it has a fairly similar storyline to Julie and the Phantoms, with the fact that one of the main characters is a musician, but also Purple Hearts has some intertwined storyline with the lover in this story being in the army. So actually it kind of like is two similar movies, but I absolutely love those, and those two are on Netflix. At the moment on Disney Plus, I am loving watching New Girl. I've restarted it and I want to obviously get right to the end. I have also watched Big Bang Theory, absolutely love that, and I do actually want to catch up and finish watching Grey's Anatomy. So that is pretty much all of my recommendations for Netflix at the moment. If you have any recommendations for Netflix or Disney Plus, please leave them in the comment section down below, because I am always looking for new things to watch. They can be films, series, animated things. I don't really go for things that are supernatural or horror or gory or anything like that, but yeah, apart from that I usually go for the rom-coms, the comedies, the animated, like, you know, even things like The Simpsons I watch. Like if I want something on in the background, I'll put The Simpsons on because it is just light-hearted and easy to watch. The next question that I found is, what is one thing that can make your day instantly better? For this question, I kind of thought about it and I wasn't really sure what I could say for this one, but mainly I suppose seeing a friend or having some sort of compassion shown from a friend or family member. So whether that be a nice really heartwarming conversation with somebody over the phone or via text or video call, that can actually instantly make my day better. Or if I physically see someone, I'm a huggy person, I love a good old hug, and I don't know, it's just seeing people that I love and care about. I have quite a few friends that I absolutely love seeing. With some of them, they do live a distance away. For example, Alex, she lives over 2 hours away from me, so I love seeing her on video call, and that can instantly make my day a lot better. The next question that I found is, what is some of the things that you would do if you won the lottery? I mean, one, I don't actually play the lottery at the moment. I used to, but I don't anymore. But if I did win the lottery, there is a few things that I have in my mind that I would actually do with the money. I would definitely buy a house. I would also fully get some money put away and start doing driving lessons, because that is one thing that is on my bucket list to do, hopefully in 2023. So I would love to do that. I would also love to pay off any of my debt and put some money away just for rainy days and for my future. So that is kind of what I would want to do with the money. It looks very boring. There's not a lot of things I'd actually want to do with the money. I think that you can focus on putting the money into like experiences and holidays, and if I had money left over, I definitely would go on a holiday, quite a nice big one. And obviously it depends how much of the lottery, but I definitely do think that a holiday would be on the horizon within that money as well. But I would love to get a really nice big house, and I would love to also start renovating it. One of my dream things to do is to buy a house that is maybe needs a bit of work and touching up, and to basically knock down all the walls obviously apart from the load bearing walls, and to redesign the interior of the house. So when I would be looking at buying a house, I would be looking more into the exterior of the house, and then kind of looking at which walls are load bearing and kind of looking at completely renovating it, because a lot of the houses here in the UK don't really suit the aesthetic that I'd be going for. I don't really want to move to a different country unless maybe the only place I've really considered potentially moving to would be Canada, but I probably wouldn't do that. So a lot of the houses that I absolutely love are American houses, and that sort of style of very modern and things like that. And in the UK, we don't really have a lot of those houses, so I would absolutely love to kind of redesign an interior of a house myself. So for that reason, I'd be looking at the exterior. Another question that I found is, what causes or charities are you passionate about? So it goes without saying that I am really passionate about raising money and awareness for mental health. My other channel, Deeanna Louise, actually does focus on sort of making people aware about mental health and some of the ways that you can help people with mental health. My top charities that I am really passionate about helping and would love to help in the future are mental health charities and also some charities surrounding cancer. Unfortunately, about 2 years ago, a bit under 2 years ago, my nan passed away from bone cancer. She also did have breast cancer in her lifetime, and so I would love to be able to help support some cancer charities and also kind of just help people like the bereavement charities and things like that. I myself have reached out to charities such as SOBS, which is Survivors of Bereavement by Suicide, and I have also reached out to Cruise, which is a bereavement charity. The next question in my list is, what is one job that I would never do? So one of the biggest jobs that I would never ever do is probably work with animals. I am not really an animals person. I would completely just put it out there and say I'm not really an animals person. I think it's different if you have a pet. So I would love to have a dog one day, and I feel that, you know, having a dog, like, you know, you can kind of have that bond with that single animal, whereas working with animals, I think that they can be a bit unpredictable, and also because you can't talk to them in English or in any sort of language, it kind of, I don't know, it puts me off. And also, like, I have quite a few friends who love animals, and that's just not me. I don't see a future with me working at all with animals. And I would much rather work with humans, like in a school or children or in a hospital, than I would work with animals. I would not want to work with animals at all. So the next question that I found was, am I more of a work to live mentality or a live to work mentality? So for me, I am definitely more of a work to live. I find that working and earning money is definitely something that can fuel your life rather than your life fueling your work. So obviously, you know, if I was to make YouTube a career, you know, my career would become my life. But in that sense, I would be able to work from home, and I see a lot of positives for becoming a full-time content creator and influencer. But I do also see a few negatives. So I do struggle with my motivation, and I think that would be something that I would struggle with. So hence why I would probably want to invest in going under a management team as soon as I can, as soon as I can afford it, because I do definitely still want the ability to have someone to answer to. That is definitely something that I would have to do, otherwise I would just not put content out. And I feel that, you know, motivation is a big element of why I would stop creating, because I just wouldn't have the motivation. Like, for example, at the moment my motivation is quite high and I have been gaining quite a few subscribers on my main channel, and it's been fueling my motivation. But if that was to ever slow down, and it has had periods of time where I have gained absolutely no subscribers in a month and my channel has been fading, and I felt really down in the dumps, and sometimes it has fueled my ambition to create better content, and sometimes it has actually put me down in the dumps and I've not wanted to create, because I've had the mentality of, well, if no one's going to watch it, why am I bothering creating? And I think I would need to have someone to answer to be able to say to them, my channel is failing, how do I improve on that? How do I stay motivated? And to have someone to actually help me with that would be really, really good. I do currently have my friend Alex. She does do some of the admin work for me, so that is actually really helpful when it comes to sending emails, and then also giving me a bit more time to focus on my actual filming and my editing. I would eventually love to, you know, hire an editor and maybe possibly a thumbnail maker as well, but I would need to find someone who is passionate about listening to me and how I want to edit things, and also is able to suggest things that they can do to make my content better. So the next question I found was, how would my 10-year-old self react to how I'm doing now? So I think my 10-year-old self would look at my life in between the ages of 10 and 27 and would be shocked. I think my 10-year-old self would be shocked about how much I've been through, but would also be proud of where I am today. And I feel that my younger self would definitely have a lot of pride in what I have accomplished and what I have achieved. Even though I have had a lot of failings in my life, and I have had a lot of perceived, you know, sort of downward spirals, and I've had a lot of times where I've given up on things. The fact that now I'm 2.5 years into creating content for YouTube and I haven't given up yet, because this is something I'm really passionate about, I think my 10-year-old self would be proud of me for sticking at this, and would be proud of me for not giving up, and would be proud of me for where I'm sitting and where I am today as a person who lives on her own, who has the ability to, you know, keep up with her daily tasks. Yes, there is room for improvement within my life, but also I definitely do a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have been able to do, say, 5 or 6 years ago. And I think my 10-year-old self would be clapping her hands and be very excited for what I have achieved and what my plans are for the future. The next question I'm going to answer is, do I believe in having a 5-year plan? I think that 5-year plans can be helpful. I myself have not sat down and actually made a 5-year plan, but I do think that 5-year plans can be helpful. For me, I really focus on more of a yearly plan. So a lot of the time I will sit down and make a mood board, or I will make a board of things that I want to achieve in general in my life. So there's no time frame to it, but it is something that I would love to achieve. For example, being monetized on YouTube, receiving the silver plaque, things like that. I think it is things that I would love to achieve in general rather than putting a time frame on things. I do like to sit down once a month on my other channel and plan for that month, and also like kind of plan ahead a little bit. So for this month my goal was to get 50 subscribers on this channel and 300 on my other channel. So Deeanna Louise, the goal was 300, and at the moment we're sitting on 294, so hopefully by the end of this month I will have that 300. And on this channel channel we are currently sitting at 37, so I am kind of doubting as to whether we will get 50, but fingers crossed that we will get a bit closer. So the next question I'm going to answer is, what does my family think about my career choice? So at this current point in time, I think it is important to talk about exactly what I do for a career. So at the moment, I currently work in a school, in an after school care environment, and I also do part-time YouTube, and I'm going to be looking at opening an Etsy store. In terms of what my family think, I don't have a huge family, and I haven't asked a lot of them as to what they do think about it. I know that some of my family have turned around and not really understood how much money and the fact that you can actually make a full-time living wage on YouTube and social media. So for that reason, I think actually earning that money, showing them that I can earn a full-time wage, is going to help them to believe. And I think that's just because it's a generational thing, and I think that, you know, they didn't have that when they were around choosing their career. So I think now that I can become a full-time influencer and social media advocate, I think that, you know, I'm passionate about doing this, and it will be about showing them that I can go full-time on this career for them to actually realise that you can make a full-time living off of YouTube. Other people in my family have really believed in me, and that again is a generational thing, and other people have said to me that they really support me and they love me for doing what I am, you know, wanting to do in life. I would say that because my current career that I get paid for is a part-time, obviously, in after school care, and that is something that I'm passionate about. But in terms of the YouTube, there's very mixed feelings within my family. The older generation in my family don't see how that can be a full-time job, and the people that are in my current generation and are kind of my sort of age or below, they do see how it can be a job, but they do also see the realities of the fact that it is hard to make this a career. And so they see it as more of a realistic point of view, that the fact that I would need to put a lot of work in order to make it a career, but they do see how it can be a career. So I think the comments that I get from my friends and family are very mixed, but overall are fairly positive. So as this video is getting quite long, and it is currently 30 minutes long as I'm filming this, I'm going to end this Q&A here, but I will do another Q&A very soon. That will be like a continuation, like a part 2 of this Q&A. So I feel that, you know, I don't want to bore you with too many things about me, but I will do another Q&A very soon that will be continuing from this one. So thank you very, very much for watching, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye. Feeling high, feeling